Channel 1, Channel 2, 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 Channel 1, Channel 2.
As protests continue across the nation, we'll tell you what one group at UNL wants to do about the president-elect. And Stars and Stripes and an administrator taking away their rights. We'll tell you about the American flag controversy at LPS.
And after a $369 million bond failed, find out what's next for Southeast Community College. We'll have all that and more right now.
Welcome to Star City News. I'm Kennedy Stillwater.
And I'm Brett Nierengarden. Earlier this week, Lincoln Career Academy students were told not to fly American flags from the back of their vehicles because of safety concerns. 7 or 8 students flew the flags on Veterans Day from holders they made in a welding class.
LPS Superintendent Steve Joel admits today that the district was wrong to do so and said students can fly the American flag whenever they please.
We believe that decision was an error. We believe this could easily and understandably have been misinterpreted as infringing on the rights of freedom of expression and speech.
There's been protests all over the United States since Donald Trump was elected president last Tuesday.
But now it's happening right here in Lincoln. Michael Snow has more. Michael?
Thanks, Kennedy and Brett. Now, protests broke out across the country last Tuesday after the election results were announced, and Omaha Central actually made national headlines by staging a walkout during class to voice their concerns for the future. Now, those protests are coming to Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
President-elect Trump has strong opinions on many issues, and one of the biggest is immigration and the wall Trump wants to build between the United States and Mexico.
We will build a great wall along the southern border.
I spoke with the vice president of the Mexican American Student Association, Jocelyn Reyna, who said they will be holding a protest tomorrow at the union to spread the word about Trump's plans and how it could negatively affect them and other minorities.
The goal is to raise awareness and I guess in a way let people know how we feel and what it is to be a minority and how that affects us after the election.
Reyna says there are even bigger issues than the wall, like her future in the United States.
I am a DACA recipient, which is I have a work permit to work here legally in the United States. That could be something that could be taken away from students. So my reaction was also fear, what would happen to me after I finish college and stuff like that.
If you want to get involved, Reyna says to start with researching the issue at hand and just being there as someone to talk to.
Be there, someone to listen, because I feel like sometimes we just need someone to be there to listen to us.
Now, the protest will be held tomorrow at the City Union outside by the fountains from noon until 2 p.m. There will be a variety of speakers on several different issues, and that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Brett? Back to you.
Michael, is the only thing they'll be protesting immigration policy?
Yeah, Brett, it's not just immigration that they're going to be talking about, but they're actually going to be talking about several different key areas of the Trump campaign that they disagreed with, like LGBTQ policies and then immigration. That includes immigration policies and the wall that Trump wants to build between Mexico and the United States. Reporting live in the newsroom for Star City News, Michael Snow.
Thanks, Michael. A Sarpy County man has been charged with felony child abuse resulting in death. 24-year-old Armin Floyd was caring for Imani Edwards when she was found unconscious in a bathtub. Edwards, who would have been 2 years old tomorrow, died Tuesday. Floyd faces 20 years in prison if convicted. A Kearney man was killed on Interstate 80 yesterday after his semi-truck veered off the road. The truck went over a guardrail and struck a ravine. There was no indication that the driver, Walter A. Reed Jr., tried to steer away from anything, leading the Nebraska State Patrol to believe he was likely asleep at the wheel. And the death penalty will be an option in the case of 30-year-old Nico Jenkins. A 3-judge panel ruled Wednesday to consider it for the 10-day killing spree Jenkins went on in 2013. In 2014, Jenkins was convicted of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of 3 Omaha men and 1 woman. The panel will continue to deliberate and hear testimonies throughout the week.
Scottsbluff area hunters have chipped in $1,000 in reward money after a bull elk was found dead in a wheat field left to rot in Scottsbluff, Nebraska on Saturday night. This was a trophy elk with 7 by 6 foot antlers. The area hunters are matching the amount being offered by the Nebraska Wildlife Crime Stoppers to help whoever solve this case. Nebraska will face a projected $1.2 billion shortfall when lawmakers assemble in January. Members of the Tax Rate Review Committee say they believe they can still balance the budget during the session in January. The senators are already developing plans and explaining the circumstances to the newly elected lawmakers.
A $369 million bond for updates and expansion of Southeast Community College was rejected by voters. But after the results, administrators say it's business as usual. I'm Dwayne Taylor, and I'll tell you why next.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and add PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, Interactive Digital Media Hub. The future is bright at the Co-JMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
Though the bond that would provide much-needed funding for SEC's future projects was not passed, Dwayne Taylor has more with the story from Southeast Community College.
Those both for and against the bond agree the funds are necessary, but how those funds are raised is where the vote splits. The bond was a part of Southeast Community College 2015 through 2019 strategic plan. The funds would allow for new updates at the 3 campus locations, but voters decided against the measure by a 2-to-1 margin. The question asked by those in favor of the bond: why?
We knew that there was a possibility going forward, that when we did a survey back in February, there was individuals who weren't supportive of the bond at the time because of the tax.
Vice President of Student Services and Lincoln Campus Director Bev Cummings says rejection of the tax, which adds about 4 cents per $100 of property, won't stop the strategic plan.
So the general obligation bond was just one means or mechanism for a community college to be able to raise the funds to do improvements and change the construction. There are other ways. There's the 2-cent tax capital tax levy that we could use. And so we're having the board look into it at the end of the month. There's going to be a board workshop that our Board of Governors will assess to determine what's the next best steps.
Those next best steps include expanding classrooms and learning centers for students. SEC's 98% success rate has students clamoring to get in. Cummings says regardless of the vote, the plan has to continue to meet students and communities' needs.
We're continuing all of the construction that we had been doing. We're still continuing the planning and implementation of the strategic plan and the facility master plan.
As for the timetable of the expansion, SCC is prepared to move forward, again, putting emphasis on enrolling students who are on wait lists.
I still believe that our expansion will occur quite soon. We've got the, SCC financially is in a good position. We've not raised our tax levy in the last several years, and so we've got that ability to raise the funds, and we've got a good, strong, healthy reserve. So we've got the ability to do it, and our focus will be on those priorities where there are wait lists.
But that decision is not final. Live from downtown Southeast Community College, Dwayne Taylor. Brett?
When the Minnesota police officer who fatally shot 32-year-old Philando Castillo has been charged with second-degree manslaughter and 2 felony counts of dangerous discharge of a firearm. Castillo's girlfriend Diamond Reynolds went live on Facebook during the shooting. The video from Reynolds and police dash cam shows the officer Geronimo Yanez holding the car at gunpoint. The couple's 4-year-old daughter was also in the car at the time of the shooting. Ramsey County Attorney John Choi announced the decision Wednesday.
It is my conclusion that the use of deadly force by Officer Yanez was not justified, and that sufficient facts exist to prove this to be true.
President-elect Donald Trump is looking at Mitt Romney and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley to serve as his Secretary of State, despite their rocky past. Haley and Trump are meeting today, along with former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and Florida Governor Rick Scott. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani has also expressed interest in being Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton spoke for the first time since her concession speech at the Children's Defense Fund last night. The CDF is where Hillary Clinton began her career in law. She spoke of the kids who have beat the odds in her loss in the election.
I'll admit, coming here tonight wasn't the easiest thing for me. There have been a few times this past week when all I wanted to do was just to curl up with a good book or our dogs and never leave the house again.
Clinton went on to say she's not giving up her fight for children and the United States. President Obama is currently making his last trip as president. Today, he and German Chancellor Angela Merkel held a press conference discussing President-elect Donald Trump's new role with Germany. The chancellor said she would do everything to establish a good relationship with Trump, stressing the importance of the transatlantic relationship as the pillar of Germany's foreign policy. President Obama will also be meeting with other key alliances in Europe later this week.
Heavy bombings continued in Aleppo Wednesday when the Syrian government unleashed airstrikes in the war-torn eastern part of the city. The bombings targeted rebel-held schools, blood banks, and hospitals, killing at least 87 people, including children. At least 240 refugees also died when a boat carrying them to Europe sank in the Mediterranean yesterday. Overall, 4,500 Syrian refugees have died in 2016. And several wildfires continue to burn throughout 128,000 acres in the southeast portion of the United States, stretching from Georgia all the way to Kentucky. The fires are suspected to be arsons, and over the past 20 days, 7 suspected arsonists have already been arrested in Tennessee, along with other incidents being investigated in Kentucky and Alabama. Smoke from the fires is causing significant air quality and visibility issues in the region.
Will it ever feel like fall, or is it just going to stay like this beautiful weather?
We will find out more when Dylan gives us the weather update after the break.
Look for a way to give back to the community. The Nebraska's Humane Society Pelock Pet Adoption Center is located off of 70th Street and Highway 2. The Capital Humane Society is always looking for cat, dog, and critter lovers to help comfort and play with the animals as they find their forever homes. Stop in or go to www.capitalhumanesociety.org to learn how you can give back to the community today.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new edition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and add PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, interactive digital media hub. The future is bright at the Co-JMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
Well, if you went outside today and didn't take a look at your calendar, you probably wouldn't have even known it was the middle of November. The good news is that means that the weather outside in Lincoln is absolutely beautiful. The bad news is there is some change to come. More on that in a second, but for right now, we live in the moment here in Lincoln, 59 degrees. Those winds out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, pretty cloudy outside. Really, though, on average, with what we see this time of year, we are right about where we usually stand. 59 degrees our high. Much below the record, but above the average, so really not too bad overall. And here's really what we're taking a look at right now. This low pressure system that's currently draped across a good portion of the country in the middle. It's currently stationed right now over Lincoln, Nebraska, and it's pushing up towards the Minnesota region. And there you see it, Lincoln right on the edge of that blue band of snow as it continues to push this way. That's a big question as to whether or not Lincoln is going to see anything. We'll probably see something in the area of some snowflakes. Probably not as much as you'll see further west where they're currently in a winter storm warning out there. So areas like Ord, Columbus, those areas could be seeing some snow in the range of about 3 to 6 inches, along with some really nasty strong winds, which could lead to some pretty bad driving conditions if you have any travel plans out into the western portion of the state. But at least here back home, the wind is what is really going to be the big factor. We could see some gusts that could get up near the 30 to 35 mile an hour mark. Temperature-wise, probably about 35 miles an hour, and of course, some rain showers as well. So there is the potential for some pretty bad weather compared to what we have been seeing the last couple days. 43 degrees for our high tomorrow. Those winds, they're the big factor. 45-mile-per-hour gusts. It is going to be windy, so definitely want to hold on to your pants tomorrow if you're heading outside. As we look towards the rest of the week, those temperatures do warm up, but nothing like we've been seeing the last couple days. Those temperatures will jump back into the middle 50s, probably into the middle of our work week next week. But there is a chance for some precipitation, too, as we head into the rest of the week as well. But overall, nothing like what we've been seeing the last couple days. So winter is here.
That is really unfortunate. First of all, Dylan, it's good to finally have you up here with those technical difficulties. That's live TV.
Yeah,
you know,
that'll happen. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, that's the fun of it. Sometimes that stuff happens. But also, I have to say, I'm kind of disappointed we got to you because I don't want winter to come. I'm from Minnesota. I've had too many winters in my life.
You should be used to it then. It's gonna feel like you're back at home then, right?
Hey, I'm going back there soon.
I could get used to this.
Yeah.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Well, after that weather report, the Nebraska volleyball team continued their winning ways.
Michael Dixon will have all of that and much more after the break.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Dixon with a look at the wide world of sports. The top-ranked Nebraska volleyball team rolled to its 13th consecutive victory with a straight set win over Penn State at the Devaney Center on Wednesday night. With the win, Nebraska now sits at 25-1, sweeping 6 of the last 7 matches. Andy Malloy finished with 11 kills and a .400 hitting percentage, while Michaela Fecky tallied 10 kills and a season-high 7 digs. Here's what the star sophomore had to say after the win.
I think it's just the rivalry that we have between them, and Nebraska-Penn State games have always been huge, and it doesn't matter the year, it's always a big game, and there's a lot on the line, and there was a lot on the line tonight, and we just went out and executed really well.
And on the pitch, the Nebraska soccer team continues its preparations for a second-round meeting with 4th-seeded UCLA in Morgantown, West Virginia on Friday. With the win, Nebraska would advance to their first Sweet 16 in 12 years and set up a meeting with either Ohio State or top-seeded West Virginia. Nebraska beat South Dakota State on penalties in the opening round last week. Now let's head over to the ice for a big early season matchup in the NHL on Wednesday night. The Washington Capitals hosted the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's pick it up in the first period. An early shorthanded breakaway for the Capitals, and it's TJ Oshie with the backhander and open up the score, and the Capitals would not stop there. Late first period, John Carlson has a bomb from the point, but Oshie cleans up the rebound. It's his second goal in the first period. Caps had a 3-0 lead after one. We fast forward to the third. Alexander Ovechkin, the great 8 on the breakaway, a filthy deke. He dekes Marc-Andre Fleury out of his skates, finishes. That was a 6-0 lead for the Capitals. They would go on to win 7-1. And of course, another weekly reminder to set those fantasy lineups. It's the Panthers and the Saints on Thursday Night Football. Brett and Kennedy, back to you.
After the break, find out who makes an amount of money that you could only imagine in your wildest dreams.
And believe it or not, there is actually a face that looks better than this one in the world. Bailey will have more on entertainment after the break.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Bailey Hurley with all your news and entertainment. Well, there's no bad blood here. Taylor Swift has just been named Forbes' highest paid celebrity under 30. The Shake It Off singer cashed in more than $170 million last year, and to break it down, she makes $14 million a month, over $19,000 an hour, in $5.38 a second. That means she can literally afford to buy a pumpkin spice latte once every single second. What a life. And Janet Jackson says she's going to honor her late brother's legacy in an extra special way. The mom-to-be's baby will have something to do with Michael Jackson. The 50-year-old singer and husband Wissam Al-Mana are anxiously waiting for the arrival of their first child together. And their wait is almost over. Countdown to baby is officially on. And it's about time somebody recognized Chris Hemsworth's good looks. GQ Australia named the actor Man of the Year in its December issue. And given his international box office appeal, it's a mystery why it took so long for the Ghostbusters star to earn the title. Now, Hemsworth was unable to attend the black tie celebration dinner, so he recorded this video message to express his gratitude.
You know, I'm just going to continue to do manly stuff throughout my life and uphold that title. Chopping firewood, wrestling crocodiles, all sorts of manly business.
And don't forget to set your DVRs for this Sunday's AMAs. Pop stars like Ariana Grande and Carrie Underwood are up for Artist of the Year, and I'm hoping my girl Adele sweeps all the other categories, including Album of the Year. Now, the night will also be packed with performances from some of my other faves, including Justin Bieber, the Chainsmokers and Halsey, Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga, and it all starts at 7 on ABC. Now, that's all I have for you in entertainment, but coming up next in social media, find out why one supermodel went on a Twitter rampage last night. And did one grandma invite the wrong grandkid to Thanksgiving? Sammy has all that and more after the break.
Hi, I'm Sammy Wong bringing you the latest social media news. Justin Verlander lost the prestigious Cy Young Award to Rick Porcello despite only getting 8 of the 31st place votes from members of the Baseball Writers Association. People were not too happy with the results, including Verlander's #1 fan, his fiancée Kate Upton. Upton fired off on Twitter, and one of the tweets was rather saucy, telling Porcello, "You didn't win." Well, I hope you find someone who sticks up for you the way Kate Upton does, Justin Verlander. Ever wondered how Disney Channel mouse ear promos looked like behind the scenes? One word: awkward. Someone managed to get a hold of the full awkward outtakes and shared it on the internet. Stars flubbed their lines over and over again during their attempt to remind viewers that they are watching Disney Channel. Here's one of the cringy-worthy outtakes of Hilary Duff. While she managed to nail the script, the moments in between are straight up painful to watch. I'm Sammy Wong, and that's all I have for social media. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Sammy. And everyone is starting to make their plans on how they're going to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yes, they are. Well, now this grandma sent a text to what she thought was her grandchild, reminding her that she's hosting Thanksgiving at her house.
The recipient of the message was a little confused, so he had the grandmother send a picture of herself.
Well, it turns out she had the number, but she had the wrong number, but was more than happy to invite him to Thanksgiving at her home.
And if that guy didn't have anywhere else to go, now he has a place to go for the holidays. That is all we have for you on Star City News. Tune in next week.